Whether I should buy a car or I should rent a car, this is one of the most commonly asked questions on my Instagram DM and even in my email as well. So today, let's discuss this from a financial perspective.
Hello and Namaste, my name is Anamika Rana and I am a chartered accountant.
Hello and Namaste, my name is Anamika Rana and I am a chartered accountant. In today's video, I will talk about one of the most requested topics, which is buying versus renting a car. And if none of these options suit you, then there is also one option which I will discuss towards the end. So let us first begin by understanding the numbers from the buying perspective. So before I come down to the numbers, it's important to understand that, of course, I do acknowledge that buying a car has its own pros and cons, where pros, of course, have emotional reasons as well attached to it. But when we talk from the financial perspective and the investment perspective, let me show you how you can or you cannot benefit. So over here, I have taken a very simple, typical example of a hatchback or a similar kind of petrol car. So when it comes to buying a car, there are majorly two costs, which is the fixed cost and the variable cost, which are involved. Now, fixed cost is, of course, the cost which is fixed, which cannot be modified, which is basically the on-road price of that particular car. And variable costs are those costs like maintenance cost, the cost of fuel, the cost of insurance, and those extra costs that you want to incur over and above, which are not mandatory. Of course, when it comes to buying your own car, I totally understand we have emotional reasons also and the reasons like convenience also attached to it. But in this video, I will specifically focus only on the mathematical and the investment or the numbers aspect. So over here, I have suppose taken the on-road price to be 6 lakhs. The actual car price was 7 lakhs, but 1 lakh, suppose you have done the down payment. So 6 lakhs is what you have to now repay back. So for this car, which is of 6 lakhs, you decided to go for a vehicle loan of tenure 5 years at the rate of interest of 10%, which basically means that your EMI per month would be 12,749. And if we see the total EMI you will have to pay over the next 5 years, the total becomes 764,940, which is nothing but the monthly EMI into 60. Okay. Then the next calculation we have to see is the mileage, which is the cost of petrol as well. Suppose say, within your city limits, your mileage of the car is 15 kilometers per liter. And let's assume over here that the cost of fuel is coming to 6 rupees per kilometer. Now over here, how I have seen is that suppose the per liter cost is 90 rupees divided by the mileage, which is 15, it gives you 6 rupees cost of petrol for per kilometer. And on an average basis, on a monthly basis, you are traveling, suppose, say, for 1,500 kilometers per month. So the total cost of fuel for the next 5 years, which is 60 months, becomes 6, which is the per kilometer cost into total kilometers traveled into 60, which becomes 5,40,000. The next cost that you have to consider is the cost of maintenance and the cost of insurance, which again might differ, but over here I have taken the annual cost as 25,000. And when you see the total cost of the next 5 years, it becomes 125,000. Okay. So also one thing we have to see is the depreciation of the vehicle. So over here I have taken the assumption of WDV method of depreciation at the rate of 15%. So the value of the vehicle after 5 years, considering it has been depreciated, which of course it will come down to 313,214. Okay. So now let's see what is the total cost of owning the car. If we add up all these costs which we just discussed, that is the total loan amount, which is the EMI basically, plus your fuel cost, plus your maintenance and your insurance cost, minus the salvage value, which is nothing but the net value after depreciation. The total comes to 11,16,726. Okay. Again, this is purely assumption based. Okay. So this is the total cost you will have to incur if you decide to go for buying a four-wheeler for yourself. Now, the second case that I had earlier mentioned was of the case of renting a car. Now, for renting purpose, there are so many options available like Ola, Uber, many other, private vehicles as well. So let's assume over here that the cost per kilometer for the rented car comes to rupees 13. Okay, and the average distance that you have traveled in a month is the same as the first example of buying the car, which is 1,500 kilometers per month. So basically, your cost of renting for one entire month becomes how much? 19,500, which is nothing but 1,500 kilometers into 13 rupees per kilometer. So this is your total cost for 1 month. Now, when we multiply it with 60, which is 5 years, assuming you are renting the car for the next 5 years, then the total cost for renting for the 5 years becomes 11,70,000 rupees. And also we have to see over here that there is opportunity cost, okay, which is basically that in the first example, you were paying an EMI of 12,749, which of course you are not paying over here. So we are assuming that you might be investing that amount in an SIP, okay. So the opportunity cost, the SIP that if you invest 12,749 becomes 10 lakhs. So net on net, if we deduct 11,70,000 from 10 lakhs, the cost of finally renting a car becomes 1,70,000. And the third example which I wanted to share with you all, which is again a coming up example, it is gradually getting popularity, and I personally myself and I'm contemplating and deciding whether I should go for this option, is that of self-driven rented car. Now over here, please understand, I have assumed that there is no security amount you are paying upfront for ease of calculation. However, depending on the company from which you are taking the rented car, the self-driven rented car, the security amount might fluctuate. So I have left an Excel sheet in the description box below. You can accordingly input your numbers and get the accurate answer. Okay, so let's assume over here, in the case of a self-driven rented car, the distance traveled per day is 50 kilometers. So all the assumptions are same. Okay, only the cost of traveling is differing, which is 12 rupees per kilometer. So the per day cost of traveling becomes 500 into 12, okay, which is 600 rupees. So cost of traveling for 5 years basically becomes 600 into 365 days of a year into 5 years, which is basically 10,95,000. Okay, and over here again, the EMI which I'm not paying of the loan, I am assuming that I suppose I keep investing that monthly EMI in an SIP for the next 5 years, which is giving me a moderate return of 12%. Then the opportunity cost over here, which I'm benefiting from, is 10 lakh rupees. So the net amount of the cost of the self-driven rented car basically becomes 10,95,000 minus 10 lakh, which is 95,000. So now if you compare option 1 versus option 2 versus option 3, clearly option 3 is the winner even over option 2. Of course, like I earlier also mentioned, I have only taken the financial aspects into consideration for this particular example, just to make you understand that when you decide to purchase any asset like a vehicle, whether it's a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler or something like that, you always should consider all the options open and do similar kind of calculation and then come to a conclusion. Again, overlooking the emotional aspects and the convenience aspects, because every option over here has its pros and cons, which I am not getting into in this particular video. However, like I earlier also mentioned, I have left the link of an Excel sheet of the similar kind of calculations which I just explained to you guys, which you can easily download, change the numbers as per your actual numbers and get an accurate answer for yourself. Now, one more aspect over here which you can consider in case you want to become more economical around the vehicle aspect is, of course, the sharing options, which is not a good option considering the situation, the pandemic situation right now. But going forward in the future, there is option like Uber share, Ola share, and even the pooling system of the car, which also you can consider, which again I have not discussed in this particular video. So in order to conclude, I would just simply say that every option has its pros and cons. Of course, owning a car comes along with its own emotional sense of victory and happiness and convenience as well, but giving a dent to your wallet, your financial budget as well. But towards the end, it's a personal decision. But remember, any decision should not be made purely on emotional factors and should also be considered keeping the financial factors in mind. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share this video in your network with your friends and family members, and subscribe to my channel so that the algorithm comes to know we are being appreciated. I will see you soon again. Till then, take care. Namaste. Bye-bye.